So Tucson time. Now this shares a platform with the Kia Sportage. So in theory they should do the same through here. So I'm going to put this into terrain and then mud. Let's see how we go. That's a benefit with shared platforms. You know, if it's going to work on one, it'll work on the other. So here we go. Through here, this all feels pretty good so far. Terrain mode also puts the hill descent control on. Okay, we're in our center section. Let's test that door flex. Get it to teeter, which is just there. We're at full flex. It's kind of, yeah, it's okay. I thought it may have been grabbing there, but it's okay. So yes, pass on the door flex test. On to the next section. Let's move on through our puddle. It is super muddy. Every time we go through this with a car, it is chopping it up nicely, but no complaints so far. They seem to be progressing through without too many dramas. All right, time for our little swing up of that wheel here. Okay, here we go. All right, we have that wheel in the air. So what I'm going to do now is let off the brake and roll onto the throttle. I can hear it doing stuff. I can feel it grabbing gradually. I'm applying more and more throttle. Yeah, it's getting there. It's just not all that confidence inspiring. And yeah, it's interesting. So it's going through, but it really needs a lot of throttle application to get it spun up. It seems only then that it starts applying the brakes to the wheels. So yeah, it doesn't feel all that confidence inspiring compared to some of the other cars we've tested. Log Mountain, beautiful this time of year, especially when it is a little damp. All right, we'll get past our first one, which is just there. And we'll sit it here. So let's go for the throttle. We'll see what happens. We're in the terrain mode. Let's see how it goes. Yeah, traction control light is flashing, but it doesn't really feel like it's doing anything. Oh, here we go. All right, we got there. Excellent. All right, we've made it up. Yeah, right at the end there, it started to get the traction that it needed and it squirreled its way up. So yeah, really impressive. At the start, it didn't really feel like it was going to get there, but as it gradually worked its way up, it really started to sort itself out and it got there. So it's fascinating. They must have really conditioned it for this type of thing to get it there, because ultimately it should, in theory, have been pretty poor when you look at how it did on the moguls. So we'll work our way back down here. It has a hill descent control, but doesn't appear to work in reverse. I'm noticing as well something that is really unnerving. The brake pedal is occasionally going, yeah, like right now, it has gone completely hard, and I'm having to force my foot onto the brake like really hard to override the assistance there to stop it. So yeah, it's not really confidence inspiring and not overly impressive when you have to manhandle the brake pedal when really it should just be gradual and progressive. So, Sportage. Now, it has an off-road mode, so it's called Terrain. You hit that button there. We'll switch it down to Mud for this. It's done its thing. It's engaged hill descent control, but it looks like traction control is still on. So, let's see how it goes. It feels low, to say the least. All right, we'll get it over to our middle section. Test the rigidity of this. I do love these cameras. I'm able to see quite a lot out the front there, and I can see exactly where I'm meant to be going. Okay, there it is there, teetering. So let's do doors. That feels good. That's opening and closing without any dramas at all. So let's move on. Okay, no scrapes so far. Well, no significant scrapes anyway. Feeling good so far. A little touch down there. We'll get that wheel up in the air. We'll see what happens. Okay, it is just there. We're teetering. Okay, off the brake, and I'll roll onto the throttle. Here we go. Waiting with bated breath. Okay, traction control is kicking in. I'm applying more throttle. Okay, cool. It did get there in the end, but it did struggle. Well, it struggled. Yeah, I don't know. It felt like traction control was doing its thing to a degree, but it probably would have stopped working at some point there. So one of the big advantages of the Sportage and the Tucson in diesel trim is they come with a torque converter and not a dual clutch. But yeah, ultimately I felt like it was struggling to actually utilise its traction control to get it through. So this felt like it had to work the hardest to get us out of that situation. Okay, Log Mountain. Let's give this a shot. The ride feels good. That's one bonus. Oh, wow. I can't even make it over the first one. All right, let's get it up to our rest point, which is just there. All right, so yeah, it struggled a little bit straight out of the box there. So we're on our rest point. I've got it in that terrain mode. Let's see what happens as I apply throttle. No, we're not getting anywhere, and it's just come up with an error message, check all-wheel drive / four-wheel drive. So I'm going to go back down the hill now. Once that error clears, I will try it once more. This time with a bit more momentum, but it really didn't feel like it was progressing at all going up there. So, all right, we'll give this one more shot. A little bit more momentum this time, just to make sure it can actually get to the top. All right, getting there. All right, with a bit of momentum, we did get there, but yeah, as you can see, it basically threw its hands up in the air when it started struggling. It didn't really feel like the traction control was doing anything to get us up that incline. So yeah, a little disappointing. It does have hill descent control, but it doesn't work in reverse. Well, it doesn't appear to. The car flies down the hill. Yeah, definitely not made for off-roading, I don't think.